you don't have not one person in your life that you can just tell the craziest things to, and I mean like the true honesty, you don't have friends. All right, we are back.
Wow. Yes.
I don't know what episode this is, but
It's 27.
20. Whoa, hey, you see the confusion right there?
25
He said
shot.
27.
25 was on Christmas.
It has to be 27. You right.
That's what I said.
All right, we'll go.
Episode 27.
Hey, run it back.
This
See
is why
what
you don't
Chuck
open up no
said.
more.
I said 27. Bakari said 26.
Anyway,
Come on,
again, thank you for tuning in again for another episode of Pops and
Let's
Sauce.
go. Show them the fade, man. You got the
What up?
fade.
Oh yeah, you
You
see it
got
here.
the- they got the
Last
fade.
episode, if y'all was watching,
Ooh,
again,
my man
I-
Tarzan out here.
low
Tell
key,
you, man.
I was starting to feel a little. I'm starting to get that homeless look. Didn't shave my beard, my head. But we good. We
Moses.
good.
I ain't gonna lie, I went back
That-
and watched it. I went back and watched the last was the last video. I guess the Christmas video.
Yeah.
Look here. First and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to all the fans out there.
For what?
Because
what?
I was getting frustrated at myself. I kept having to turn the volume on. every time I was
Thank
speaking.
you, sir.
I said, "Dang!" I said, "Let me go ahead and just."
Okay,
Nah,
so
man.
Let me go
we've been
turn
telling
this
Bakari
up.
ever since we started the podcast. Hey,
All right,
brother,
that's
you
enough.
gotta speak directly
That's
to the mic. He
That's enough.
refuses.
We learned, man.
No,
Look.
no.
We learned.
All right, so tell
I've
me
been
what happened.
served. I've been served already.
Look,
Look, we
you said, now
good.
you being
We
too
good.
loud.
We
There's a
good.
happy
Nah,
medium.
because the thing is, my mic is low. I don't know why it sounds like it's low, but it sounds
Nah,
low.
you just when you start talking like this.
Nah, it just sounds low
and,
though.
and you know,
Because
and that's what the
even- nah,
word
'cause
told me.
Last episode, I promise you, I stayed either here or I was here at this angle. And the thing is, I still, like I said, it still sound low. Now there was sometimes
How did you? Okay. How did?
But
you
then I was back
How did
here.
you listen to it?
how I listen to it on my
Yeah.
phone through the
Okay,
car.
when
Through the
I-
car.
When I played you on when I played us on the TV, everybody sounded just fine.
Really?
I play us on the TV every Monday morning while I'm washing dishes, and
Nice.
we sounded great.
Oh, we do. Our topics sound great. I ain't gonna lie, but I felt like I was.
even our
I was going up and
deflection
down with
in
the-
our
with the
voice
volume.
sounded good.
We rocked them.
Yeah, we did, man.
All right.
Did you have surround
yeah.
sound?
Huh?
Did you have the surround sound going?
I ain't got no surround sound, man.
I thought you had surround sound.
I got whatever Sony blessing me with.
Hey,
Whatever-
Sony.
yeah, whatever it's
We
coming
looking
to.
for that. Look, we looking for that.
Sponsorship
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, if there's
Sponsorship.
any,
My man, that's
any
why we got
local
brothers.
businesses that want to do business with us,
For
reach out to
sure,
us. All
yes.
right, you know what I'm saying?
We
We ain't got to go
got you.
national.
not
Nah,
for real.
nah, we here for it.
We here.
Yes.
I mean, you right.
We will
listen,
give. Look, we will shout you out. We will do whatever.
Nike,
You, I
Adidas.
ain't gonna say we will do whatever, but you know we'll definitely try to promote your business
you out.
on
You know
our
what I'm
show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start making a YMCA pay me.
Speaking of show, Bakari said that he had something on his chest. He called me a couple of days ago, and he called me a quote, a destroyer of the faith. And I said,
dang.
brother, I said, what happened? Why we going straight there? Oh, you did. You
The mic gotta come off.
Mic gotta come
The
on.
mic gotta come off
About
out
to go
here.
full David Ruffin.
Oh
Lord,
my
move
goodness!
this out the
He
way.
dang.
Let me move this out the way.
He's out dang. So Bakari, first of all, go ahead and tell the people what you got your say.
He's so highly frustrated, brother.
Oh my
Man.
goodness, his house is destroyed right
Oh
now.
yeah.
People.
yeah.
Now I blame a lot of people in this situation.
Start with your look.
I blame a lot of people, but I don't blame myself.
Yeah.
Blame
I don't
yourself,
blame
player.
yours. Look, I got 10 hands, 10 fingers pointing at these people out here. But nah, so I
Dang.
get a message
Wow.
from my wife later on. It's probably about it was I guess yesterday. She messaged me saying I want to file a complaint against
Oh,
Pops.
that's why she said that.
Yeah.
Because I saw that message. And I was
She
like,
said I want to file a
not reading
complaint against Pops and Socks.
I said, oh, what do we do?
And
What's
I
going
said,
on?
what's going on?
They trying to
She
cancel
said,
before we get started.
bro, word for word. Because of y'all, Chloe now knows the truth about Santa, the Easter Bunny, and who was the other?
All the
fairy- yeah, the
all
Tooth
the
Fairy.
non-fictional characters. Or fictional
So
characters.
the thing is, first of all, you always gonna be in the Tooth Fairy because it gives you money. Doggone, I still believe in the Tooth Fairy a little bit. But nah,
just
so
that
she
one
told me
chance I
that.
get a duck. First of all, you
I
lose
said,
you
all
lose a tooth
because-
at an adult. I
I said all because episode about Christmas. They out here destroying my kids' faith
Nah,
instantly.
Tell us the whole story, brother.
No.
So we are, first of all, if you really follow us, we always show that we are not. We always put this show's not for kids. Not that we show anything inappropriate.
Yeah.
Not that we are cussing or anything in the slightest like that. Just we feel like our content is strictly for the parents.
We cover adult topics.
Yes, adult-based topics,
kids.
right? And if kids want to watch it, no problem.
Yeah.
However, somebody close to Bakari's family was watching the podcast. Shout out to you gonna tell them who it is?
Miss Davon Johnson, a.k.a. my mother.
Use her full name.
My mother.
Dang,
My mother.
My mama.
It be your people sometimes.
I'm pretty sure it
always
was her because
your-
Brittany's not going to let Chloe watch Pops and Socks. I dang sure ain't going to let her watch Pops and Socks. Not the fact that we talking stuff like that. I just know, look, this is stuff for later on in life where when I finally pass away, you could be like, oh man, look, I still remember my dad.
If I want to hear his voice,
This is what it's here for a remembrance. But I know it had to be my mom that
dang.
let her watch
Miss Devon, we
it
love you.
That's
and
crazy.
destroyed my baby's faith.
No, what was
Instantly,
So-
instantly my baby came in the door.
so if you followed us our previous episode, I had already told them that I've already talked to my son
Yeah.
years ago about Santa, Elf on the Shelf, Easter Bunny, all these other stuff.
The whole nine.
But I gave him. I didn't try to snatch his like Christmas spirit away. He still. We went crazy ham this year on Christmas. All the other fun stuff. However, I told you about lying to your kids.
But was my lying?
He was.
What you mean?
It was letting them be kids.
No, let them be kids. But
It
lying
was letting
to
them be kids.
lying,
Letting
though.
them stay in the dark, brother.
We had 2 or 3 episodes ago. We talked about, do you lie to your? Is there ever a good reason to lie?
And Bakari said, "Look,
Yeah.
right this moment, we're gonna edit it in. No,
Is it okay to ever tell a lie?
Okay to lie.
It's
not okay to lie.
I'm gonna go and say that
So
right
there's
now.
no
on the
scenarios
record.
where you're just like, no, like telling white lies.
It's not okay to lie, but
That's what he said,
I
right?
still stand on that.
But what,
And I still stand on that.
as on bird.
But I'm saying though, look, this is the new me, so therefore I understand. I don't think there's a reason to lie to your kids, but
2023,
I
right?
felt like I, as the father, should be able to tell my children the truth about my lies back then.
Wow.
I'm a new being.
Wow.
Yeah, I lied to him back then, but that's the thing. Like, you can't just rip their heart out right then and there.
Hey man, I
You
thought
just gotta say, you gotta
said-
gradually let them understand. Just like I
I thought you
told
said you
Brittany.
knew. I thought Chloe already knew.
She didn't know about Christmas though. She didn't know about the whole. She didn't know about the whole Santa Claus. Now
you ripped my ball.
distraught out here.
Look, so apparently she heard it from me.
Diabolical.
She heard it from Uncle Anthony.
Yeah, hey, man, it ain't real.
Hey, baby, I'm gonna
Diabolical
hook you up
out
with
here.
something Christmas. It's all right.
And you act like we film these episodes live. When we filmed the episode, you knew you had either 3 days or a week and
I
3
don't know
days.
nothing, Chuck. I don't know
Right,
nothing out here.
You had multiple opportunities to tell
You don't
her.
have to let her find out like that.
Yeah.
We so far into the future from these episodes.
Back
like
to the
I don't
future.
know when. I don't know what's gonna happen when I
What
release
you
it.
mean, man? We on the second week of the new year.
So yeah.
The
So
second
my
week of
baby now knows that Santa is not real.
Oh, we should
and
bring you on the
now
show.
I know as soon as she gets upset at her brother, she just gonna unleash the
Unleash.
unleash the atomic bomb.
So this-
and that's why Santa ain't real either.
What you gonna do, McCoy?
Look, instantly. Look, and that's why Santa ain't real either.
Or it's Buddy. Choke. Dang.
But look here, after Group A,
Wow.
after Group A faces out this stage, me and Brittany already made up my minds that
Why don't
we're
you
not
go
gonna
ahead-
do that.
Look, why don't you go ahead and let him know already? That way he gotta, if Chloe gonna rip his heart out. If she do have to tell him.
Carl like one of them kids. Like as long as I'm still getting gifts, I'm cool, Dad.
All right.
Absolutely.
But
pretty
speaking
much
of
how it
that,
is.
though, look, speaking about that, let me segue on over to this another topic about
Segue?
Christmas.
Go ahead.
So, I have a question I want to pose
Oh Lord.
Here we go.
about Christmas.
This is Bakari. This is crazy. He asked. You know what? My fault. I know what he's gonna ask. Sorry.
I have no idea.
Look, do you think kids should get presents on Christmas Day?
Why? Okay. So your logic is, if you're talking about if we believe in Jesus, the real reason we celebrate.
Nah, do you think your kids should get Christmas on Christmas Day? Presents on Christmas Day?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah,
Why?
because that's the holiday spirit, right? Dun,
You
dun.
got too much cream in your coffee, brother.
way too much cream, brother.
Hey, man.
Way too
So-
much
You
cream.
just said you lied to your.
No, because then we all lie. Then we don't actually celebrate Christmas in the true meaning. So this is what I believe, and I
Celebrate the
honestly,
season.
No, they celebrate Christmas. They don't
celebrate
celebrate
the
the season no more.
The
The
season.
season was long gone when
Dang.
Jesus died, and then he rose again. It was long gone. But
Wow.
the thing is, I don't think this is my logic now, and I'm not just
Yeah.
trying to save money.
Let me,
Nah,
let me
he-
hold
he-
on.
I'm not trying to be a Julius.
I am.
But I'm just trying to say,
Dang.
in my opinion, I don't think kids should get presents on Christmas. Let me explain.
Explain, brother.
We're going to get this man. All right.
Explain. Oh, soapbox.
Go ahead.
What's Christmas about?
The birth of Jesus.
Okay. Why did they bring the what were the gifts for on Christmas?
Jesus' parents.
What were the gifts for?
Jesus'
Gold,
parents.
frankincense, and myrrh.
Frankincense and myrrh.
But who did they bring the gifts to?
I brought they're for Jesus, but his parents
Okay.
have been from.
Because of why? His birthday.
Right. It's
So-
Jesus' baby shower.
No, it was his birthday.
He does.
He was born.
He got-
Baby shower was before the birth.
But they didn't have one before,
Before the birth.
It was on the run.
Before the
They
birth.
didn't.
It was a
They
baby.
were-
It was supposed to be a baby
So they
shower.
went
It was
on the
before
run?
the birth. Huh?
They went on the run.
No.
What? Oh my God.
No,
She had to pop that baby out and run.
On the run, bro. She was pregnant for 9 months. They could have been had the baby shower.
How if they listen? Well,
They wasn't on the run that
They
long.
couldn't have the baby. They could have had the baby shower before this.
Yeah,
But
they've been running for 9 months.
I've been saying somebody was out to
feel
kill,
like,
to kill
yeah.
the baby. But
Yes, they was out to kill him at the end. But the thing is, they brought the gifts to Jesus on his birthday because a son was born.
And it wasn't even the same day.
technically,
Well, I mean, okay, they had to travel. They had to travel to get there.
technically, so the baby shower.
So, I knocked that whole coffee. So this is my logic why kids shouldn't get gifts, right?
Uh-huh.
So on December 25th, bro, if you don't stop tapping him. Why you gotta hit people all the time for?
Hey man, it sound like you triggered us. Hey man, you need to talk that, brother.
But nah, so this,
Go ahead,
this is my
man.
logic.
Hey, what's
I don't
good,
think I don't think people should. I don't think our kids should get gifts on Christmas because the Christmas is supposed to represent Jesus Christ. We're supposed to remember who Jesus Christ was. The presents were for Jesus Christ. So therefore, why are we giving our kids gifts on someone else's birthday when it has nothing to do with their birthday? So therefore, if y'all have 2 kids, right? Let's say you have 2 kids, or you're about to have 2 kids, Shocking. It's Zola's birthday. Are you going to sit there on Zola's birthday and give your other son or your other daughter that another gift?
A lot of parents do that.
Well, shut up.
They do.
No,
Shut
Sean,
up.
you're not going to do that.
Parents do.
You're
give
not
the
going
us-
to do
are
that.
you
when the
personally
kids
gonna do
are
it?
younger enough, when the kids are too young and they
Nah,
don't
fam.
understand what gifts
Nah.
are.
Shot, you
In my
know
mouth-
you're
if-
not going to do that. I
if-
know you're not going to do that because you're cheap now.
freaking
Shot,
right.
exactly.
Freaking right.
Look, why we have this conversation with him? Nah. So I don't think. I
Always
don't
bring it
think.
back to money.
Okay.
Truthfully, I don't think our kids should receive Christmas gifts, and I don't care what you say.
They
man.
Grinch.
Look, bah humbug. I don't care what you got to say right
Bah
now.
humbug.
But truthfully, because I think we have now made the Christmas, the day of Christmas, we have now started to celebrate the season instead of the reason. So therefore, we have took the meaning out of Christmas and put it in a form of a present because we think that they should get presents when it's not really about the presents because why? We sit there and go broke.
It's about the greatest present.
We sit there, the present of grace, the presence of mercy. But the thing is, we sit there and we go broke trying to sit. I'm not saying we. because I definitely-
That's not a
maybe not somebody in here,
But somewhere way out there.
but somebody out there. So they try to go broke trying to sit there and give their kids all these gifts and stuff. And then the thing is, you're giving these kids gifts, having them think. Well, I guess you could say, I don't want to say carnal, but you having them think that they should worship materialistic things.
Talk about worshiping.
Because the thing is, so shot.
about worshiping.
Okay, shot. Not because
So-
the thing is,
so could I-
no. Let me tell you this. Because
I got one-
if,
I got
on
a question.
Christmas, if you didn't get, if the parents did not get their kids any gift, they would be highly upset.
So
if
question.
the gifts did not come in.
So
therefore,
question.
they're not looking for they're not paying attention to the season, and I'm not blaming the kids on this, but they're not looking for the season.
So it sounds like you just got to tweak if that is your children. Keyword if. That sounds like that's more parenting that you got to explain.
But
that.
that's all I'm saying.
But or even if you're a non-believer, but you like enjoy the holidays, I think that's why a lot of people possibly do it. But also, question for you, brother: are you going to give your kids gifts next year, or do you
See,
It's a yes or no question.
No.
So you're not gonna give
answer. I'm not going to give my kids presents. Why? Because I'm going to do something that they're going to have something to remember. As into, I want to go like
You want to give them an experience?
Yes,
Yes,
me and
what you
Britt,
meant.
Giving them something.
Okay, once again, giving them an experience, something that they can remember. So as into
Yeah,
instead of handing them presents, something that is temporary, I need something like as into this. This is not temporary. This is a gift to them for each one of our kids that they can hold on to and that they'll always have something to remember us by. That's what I want to do for them for Christmas. Also, that gives an opportunity, whether if we're traveling, because that's my goal next year, to travel on Christmas instead of just sitting there buying it. Because honestly, obviously, with all the money we spent for Christmas, you can easily just buy some tickets somewhere and go somewhere.
Where you going? Still, the crux of it is
You're giving them
you're
something, but
giving-
you're giving in
So,
a sense.
so it sounds like you
but
have
you're not doing it for Jesus. What
No,
was
no,
the-
still not
it
yet.
is. See, that's the thing, though.
What
so
experience
once
are you
again,
doing?
so the
You
experience
traveling to Nazareth?
No,
Nazareth?
no.
Y'all
So
y'all go to
experience-
Bethlehem?
So the experience I wanted to give them was like going to the Ark, and I think it's in Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Williamsburg,
So
Kentucky.
going to the Ark, going there and giving them that experience. Like I said, and
I don't know if it's gonna be open on Christmas.
I'm not saying like go on Christmas, but you can actually go and let's say go maybe like the day before Christmas.
don't
Well,
think it's
Christmas
gonna
will
be
be
open
on Monday, so therefore it'll be on Sunday. I don't know if it'll be open then, but that's thinking too far in the future. But so like I said, doing something like that, giving them that experience, and therefore like when you're out, let's say we're out right now or we're out on Christmas Day, just spending time in the hotel as a family.
I think
Cherishing the moments. Also, like I said, just teaching them the reason
for the season.
for the season.
Okay, I think that, but what you're saying is, I don't know how we got on a Christmas rant. First of all, look, I was like, for the record, I don't
segued
believe
into
you.
it.
He'll be out giving gifts
Oh, yeah.
for that baby next year, for the babies next year, at least one. Second, but I think that falls into your parenting and what you are teaching or leading your children and your family in throughout the year. Because I think if you explain to them about Christmas, like example would be, I think I said a couple episodes ago, me and Isaiah were doing like a little Bible study, trying to talk and giving him a real life example of what it was like during that time. But even then, like you said, if you're giving them experiences, if you know, Lord willing, throughout the year, you know, or taking them to different food pantries or whatever, then yes. But I think if you put it this way, if your kids are so pressed about the necessary gift or what they're receiving on Christmas or around that time of that season, like that's all they care about, that's all they're focused on, that's all they're worried about, that honestly, to me personally, it's Anthony, you know, it's a hot take, that says more about you than really kids. It just really shows, because your kids are going to emulate what you value. Yeah. And if that's what you value, that's what you show to them, or you allow them to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, I never blame the kids in this. Because if you go
I'm
back
not-
and watch, like I said, it's so, like I said, if you read between
So
the
you,
lines,
so you
it's
don't want
all
you won't stop
based on-
so you won't stop giving gifts to your kids on Jesus' birthday. Respect.
Yeah, because it's Jesus' birthday.
Okay.
Why are we giving our kids gifts for his birthday? Why our kids got to have 2 birthdays for?
2 birthdays.
2 birthdays. They got my son got a birthday on the 26th of June, and you mean to tell me he got to have a birthday on December 25th?
First of all,
presents?
adults celebrate their birthdays for weeks and the whole month.
Actually, women celebrate their
You're right.
birthdays
Say
for
me
weeks.
adults out here.
right.
Adults celebrate their birthday
Which is
one
crazy.
day.
No,
Well, one day, like,
adults
a
will
woman,
be-
a woman will get
the
her.
whole
I say it
week.
too. Yeah, a woman will get
Yeah.
her birthday. Oh, it's my birthday, mom.
Turn up.
Then, look, it's 2 weeks till my B-day. Get ready.
Turn up.
Then it's my birthday week. I'm going out every
turn
night until my birthday. And I said, bro, I thought it was your
I said, so
birthday.
you ain't got to work?
That's what I
You
be
don't
asking. And then,
We took off a whole week of.
we
We got
listen,
you used a whole week of PTO for your
I
birthday.
remember,
tell you now.
Coco,
Let me
we
tell
love
you.
you. I remember last time Coco was in town. I swear to you, we were about to run. I said, Coco, I'm about to run out of money. What day is your actual birthday on? Like we've been out every day
Yeah.
for your
We gonna do
birthday.
the same thing.
Wow.
I was like, yo,
Wow.
love you, Coco.
That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
There is no I don't see the problem in giving kids gifts. I don't see
Or
the
if
problem.
that's, I
Yeah,
mean,
and that's the thing. Like, if it's not for you, it's not for you.
or you could actually make the argument that if that's your love language, sometimes that's people gift giving.
Yeah.
How you spend the season, or whatever, if you make it about, I truly believe, if you even if you're not, let's say if you are not a quote a believer of Jesus Christ, even if you are, when you make intent time to spend with your family, whether that's games, love, and joy, that is, to me, that is a form of worship.
Yeah.
I don't think Jesus is sitting in heaven, they trying to play me, giving gifts out on my birthday. Look, what they give to me. Well, I don't think it's like that, but I think if you're actively, again, we already know that Jesus is the head for the body, the church is his bride, and we know that they are they're one, they're usually their family. And I think that's a form of worship, being with your family, whether it's your biological family, your church family, your work family. Let's say if you're working on that particular day, I just think that is one way that we can honor God. Me personally, like I said, that's one way I feel like we can honor God with that.
Just with your presence.
Just sometimes with your presence, you talking, whatever. And I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Oh, no. I mean, there is no wrong or right with this. It's
Look,
more
Brittany
of just how you.
she ain't gonna let the babies
Nah,
have
so
one
let's
gift.
do this next year, man.
Just,
Instead of all three.
let's take a pops of socks.
Let's all. Are we all black? Last time I checked. All right. So next year, instead of giving gifts for Christmas, we celebrate Kwanzaa.
Look, Kwanzaa's after Christmas, right?
That's exactly why I said that. Yeah. So instead of we can go right past Christmas and actually focus 100% on God and give things to other people. That's why I feel like in the season of giving in the wintertime, it's the season of giving. So we should show our kids how to give to other people.
But if you give year round, so I'll be honest with you. So I do so much, not just within my church or anything like that, but as much as I give, I serve, I help, I lead. By the time Christmas gets here, to me, it's almost another day. Like if it becomes who you are if you're already doing those things.
Exactly.
Now I'm not
but
mad.
we make emphasis
on if you're emphasizing on that particular day, let's go, let's do it.
I like to emphasize on the season.
Right.
Just like how we say October, November, and December are like the fat months of the year because everybody's trying to cook you this, everybody's trying to bake you that.
Thanksgiving, that's
So like the last month of the year, there's an emphasis on something about wintertime and Christmas time just make you happy. It makes you joyful, right?
I want the same energy. I'll buy home.
Oh, now we can't get that all year because ain't nothing that happy when it's 120 degrees outside.
I'd rather be 120 than -3.
I do agree with that 100%. I prefer the heat over the cold.
Yeah, that cold. Yeah, I don't want no parts of that.
But during the holiday season, we should just focus on giving. Just give.
All right, so next year. So do we want to
I'm celebrating Kwanzaa.
You see Kwanzaa?
Celebrating Kwanzaa because on Kwanzaa you're supposed to give one gift a day that you celebrate Kwanzaa.
I mean, you got a baby. Look, Zola don't care about that. She thinks she hit a lick.
We dashiki'd out the whole entire week. That's gonna be my uniform. So
Hey,
y'all
that's you.
down? All right.
That's you and your family though.
2023.
And I respect your
Look,
wishes. That's on you.
Kwanzaa.
He said, "Huh?"
What?
He said,
Want to do Kwanzaa?
"Before I can
What?
Let's
participate."
do Kwanzaa. Yes, he can.
Before I can
I
participate.
got a white wife shot.
Hey,
Listen,
hey man, Dr. Umar done took his car. He said, you got a what?
50 lash.
1,000 lash.
50,000
Oh,
lash.
he said, I got a white wife. You can't participate Kwanzaa.
We're celebrating
fun
Kwanzaa.
fact. So one of my coworkers, so she's white. So we were talking today, and I was with real tears. And we were talking, and she said that they did like the 23andMe and her family.
Yeah.
And she said that I found out she was like some type of third of Jewish, and found out some of percent was Nigerian. Right.
Oh, my
now,
God.
mind you, she is.
Here we
white.
go.
So look, dead serious is what she said. Shout out to Britta, I love you. But she said that yeah, we've been on onslaught of holidays all this year. I said, what you talking about? She said, yeah, my daughter then found out that we were part Jewish and then part Nigerian. She said, so last month, a few months ago, we were celebrating Hanukkah.
I'm already offended.
She said she already celebrated Hanukkah.
I'm already
They
offended.
celebrate Christmas, and then she said she's celebrating Kwanzaa this year. I said, you know what? I said, bring her on the show. I said, I need to meet her right now. She knew the days too. Like she knew them. Like they had research. It wasn't like they were doing this as a fan. This girl was genuinely wanted to know about possibly some of her roots in there. So I don't know the little girl's name, but shout out little Sally. I'm gonna name her Sally.
Hey,
for going after it.
I won't knock them for studying the holiday. I I won't knock him.
I'm knocking, all right?
Hey,
I said I won't knock him for studying the holiday.
Hey, why she can't participate?
But some things, some things it takes being this to understand what the little.
Hey,
what
man,
this
she
about.
is though. She's part Nigerian.
I destroy your whole knee over again.
Dang, I'm not knocking.
You know you ain't knocking. You know you ain't knocking out here all that cream in your coffee.
God bless him, man. You know what? Shout out to Anthony's coworkers out here celebrating.
Yeah.
well, Brit out
All
here.
I'm saying is,
I never work at
if you
Eastman.
are 3% Nigerian, don't give you the right to wear no dashiki and start speaking to me in click languages. All right,
Swahili.
please do not do that to me. All right, but celebrate that.
You got to be a brother
you got to be all
or a
right.
sister.
All right.
All right. Hey, but yeah, that was a good topic though. Just and like I said, I think next year I'm gonna go on a trip. Forget these presents.
I'm here for that.
I'm here. Forget these kids. 2023.
It also just sounds like y'all broke. Y'all don't want to give no
Nah,
gifts
I
for
ain't
Christmas.
broke.
man.
The thing is, with the amount of with the amount of money you spend on
Well, I know
gifts.
Bakari got spared.
Yeah,
First, y'all gonna stop disrespecting me.
you got 4
what?
kids.
Y'all gonna stop
Got
disrespecting
3
me.
kids and my baby mama late. Uh-oh.
Nah, I got man. We got 3 weeks, dog. I said, I'm over here rushing. This whole week has been a struggle, bro. Just with cause I thought I had about maybe 4 weeks. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and tidy up the house. You know, you get that burst of energy towards the end.
Oh yeah,
of the pregnancy.
listen. I
You
dropped
start
Zola
cleaning
off
up.
over there. I was over there. I was
Oh.
like, this man's clean.
Oh, I said, look, I gotta get everything done. So I got 4 weeks.
Just for it
I
to
was
get
telling
destroyed.
Brittany, and Brittany's like, she said, how mad would you be if I told you we only had 3 weeks left? I said, God.
That's 21 days.
Bro,
21?
21 days, man. Like, so I like I said, I'm over here. I was over there freaking out. So I got to make sure. And like in my mind, I'm thinking like, truly, this is my 4th kid. This is going to change the whole trajectory of my life. With 3, you good. 4, it's like, better tighten up, son.
Every day's in chaos.
I am about to freak out with 2, so I can't imagine.
So
I
I'm
can
thinking.
imagine.
I'm thinking 1. I gotta make sure. Look, how's this gonna work with Ivory? She over here crying, still trying to sleep in the bed. The baby gonna be disturbed, therefore the baby ain't gonna get no sleep. 2, Chloe's still
I ain't
wilding
gonna
out.
sleep 'cause
She-
y'all.
Chloe 10 going on 15. I gotta fix her before she sit there and have an influence on my kids. Kari just being Kari and can't remember nothing.
Nah,
So
man.
I said, my
look.
house is in disarray.
Listen,
So
nah,
over here
man.
Hey, man,
scratching
go
bald spots in my head.
Hey, go ahead. Listen.
Kari's gonna be me, all right. Kari's gonna be so cool, calm, and collected. He's gonna be.
Oh,
Like,
he's
y'all
so
do
cool,
whatever.
calm, and collected, make me upset.
I love it.
He's
I
so
love that about him.
like he's so calm, and when I'm trying to be angry at him, I get more angry sometimes.
All right.
Hey, boy.
I need your energy to match
Nah,
my
man.
energy.
I need-
Nah, then he
need
ready.
to
He might
remain-
box him.
He got that Snoopy personality, hey man.
But
do
he
whatever y'all want.
cool, calm, and collect. Like, cause even he's a type that he will sacrifice. I guess his not saying his pride, but he will sacrifice standing up to you, if that means that it's going to hurt your feelings. So he would rather you sit there and let. And it frustrates me. He would rather let you boss him around because that makes you happy
Yeah,
than
I
to
was
sit
the
there
same way.
and stand up and
Did we already talk about that?
Definitely so.
So
I don't think we ever talked.
talked about. Remember, sometimes sometimes you can be non-confrontational. You be like, you know what? I know you're wrong, but I know I want to keep the peace necessarily. So I'll
that's-
borderline. I'll pretend like you're right in order to keep the peace.
Yeah, so that's him though. But like I said, that was one of the things.
Bro, you gonna use a mic?
That was just one of the things. I've been using the mic the whole time.
No, you literally. I watched that bad boy die completely. Oh my goodness! Pray for us. Pray for us,
hit your
y'all.
big toe. But yeah, man. So like I said, this whole week, man, I've been ordering stuff, trying to get stuff prepared. Also, trying to make sure we got stuff ready for the baby shower.
And he
then-
did now. Hey, so I kind of brings up a
Jesus.
question, like I said, with all dads out there, with the chaos and all the feeling like you're getting, because Bakari used to say that you're doing a lot of the housework because your wife, she has a
She got a
50-pound
whole child.
whole 50-pound bowling ball on there.
That head,
She's
boy.
limited to what she can do, and then you got literally 3 other children that you're working about, that you're trying to take care of. So the question is like, who do you like vent to or share that responsibility with when you feel like you're getting overwhelmed?
So
Good question.
before I didn't share with nobody because the thing is, I always felt like
Shotguns for you too. Sorry.
I always felt like I couldn't vent out. So when I go back, I'm gonna quote this off a podcast because he said if the enemy can get you to be quiet about the situation that you're in, you'll never come out of it. But the moment you speak about how you feel, it'll set you free. That's why they say the truth will set you free. But like truthfully now, like I try to vent out, which I'll try to vent out to my wife how I feel. I try to be open and honest now.
Yeah.
More open and honest, even when I know sometimes she might not like it. But I always want her to know that, baby, this is how I'm feeling.
Right. Come on.
This is how I'm feeling. Or I'll vent to my brothers. I'll sit there and say, pray for me, call them up, talk to them. But at the same time, like I said, it's just, it does get hard, and the enemy will try to play you like, yo, can't nobody understand what you're going through.
Right. Shaka is not the most vulnerable person in the group.
I'm super vulnerable. I'll cry on you right now, bro.
He's out crying right
I'll
now.
cry on you right now.
Look,
Tear ducts.
I don't
That's
know.
on Bird, man.
That's on Bird.
That's on Bird. I'll cry on
Who's
you
Bird,
right now.
though? We can put on Bird.
Talk about my vulnerability like
Nah.
that.
But so who do you normally like get a chance to like be? Is there a person, or how do you express that vulnerability?
Oh yeah, I cuss my dog out.
The dog.
The dog got to catch these hands.
That's how you vent?
That sounds like a lot of suppressed anger and
Oh,
rage,
it's hard.
brother.
I'm just playing. I don't do that to my dog. I
Nah,
don't.
you be doing that.
When the dog step
be
out of
doing
line,
that.
I just put him back in line. That's my job. Domino, you step out of line, I'm gonna put you right back in line.
Dog gonna look
You
at
feel?
dog gonna
This
listen to the
man built
podcast.
him-
He's like, Bird, what I do?
This man built him a 4x4 block. Domino, you step outside this block, it's game over.
It's a rap like Christmas. I love that dog. I don't. But I think I vent to. Dang, I don't even want to lie, man. I
ahead.
don't know who I vent to.
You don't. So again, all right,
Maybe I vent to God. I think.
You
I
say
think
maybe.
you go to
do or
against
you
God.
don't.
Tell him, God.
Maybe
I
I vent.
really-
Do I vent?
I don't know. If
Hey,
I
God,
vent.
do I vent?
I think I don't keep everything bottled in, but this is what I'm careful with. You have to know your partner, right? So if your partner deals with anxiety, I don't think LaShonda will mind me telling people that she has anxiety. So when you have a partner that deals with anxiety, you have to be careful what you share with them because you don't know how they're. For someone that's never had anxiety, and for someone even we have to live with someone who deals with that, you have to learn how to cope with their emotions. So when you don't know what you're going to say to them and how it can affect them, I'm very careful with what I share with her because I don't want her to hear one comment that I say to her and take that and flip it into something else that is not. So when I do vent, I'm very careful with the information that I do vent to her. A lot of things I'm okay with holding in because it's not going to be that big of a deal. But if it's something major that I do need to sit down and explain to her, then we'll sit down and have a moment and talk it out and have that be that. And I don't explain things to her until I find the right words. If I try to just say it off my chest,
Oh Lord,
it'll
have everybody in the house jacked up.
that's when
But-
things go awry. So like if there's a problem, I might sit on an issue for a day or two until I feel like I found the right way to describe it. I'm that guy that'll play out 15 scenarios in my head until I'm like, okay, this is the right one. I can say it this way. And then we can talk about it this way. But I'll say that only happens 7 times out of 10. And the other 7 times 3 times out of 10.
What?
The other 7 times I keep it to myself.
What happened, brother?
I keeps it to myself, or
So
I'll just cuss out the atmosphere.
So okay, so it sounds like there's a lot of pent up frustration, and anger in there, brother. But
A little bit.
because I mean,
But
I
it's
feel
good.
like I truly understand like having somebody. If you feel like I'm going to harm my partner in any type of way, not even intentionally, like you said, harm Amy, like bring her anxiety, bring her worry,
Yeah.
or anything like that. It will really truly. And it's not her fault.
You know,
I mean,
you know her triggers. put it
yeah,
that
and
way.
you don't want to
100%.
do that because you care about that
Yes.
person.
And I feel, I do
Absolutely.
I do the same thing. I try to be more open and honest with Brittany at the same time. Like I said, I understand
Yeah.
the trigger part though.
Oh yeah.
Because like I know for a fact when bills come up,
Yeah.
or bills are due, last thing I'm gonna do is want to tell Brittany, "Hey, bills are due." Because then what? Freaks out.
Oh my
Oh
god!
gosh, money's going, money's going. But
Yup.
nah, so like I said, when it comes to certain stuff, like you was talking about,
Yeah.
Okay,
you
so
just don't talk about.
What, or is there a place that you can like Bakari? So the reason I bring this question up because we talked about it. We talked was it yesterday or no, a couple days ago
Yeah.
about like I said being vulnerable and really being open, and honest. If you and again, I've heard that we were really listening. We were talking about this podcast. It really kind of touched and mentions to us.
Yeah.
But it was like, if you don't have not one person in your life that you can just tell the craziest things to, and I mean like the true honesty,
Yeah.
you don't have friends. You have
That's
acquaintances.
A lot of I heard
Like-
who had a podcast say that. Maybe it
You
was
you have acquaintances.
It was the basement. Tim Ross in the basement.
Did we all listen to the same one?
We might listen to
We
the
might all listen to
Vulnerability?
the same. Yep.
Hey, I see you right
Yeah,
here.
yep.
We over here healing. Shout out Tim Ross out there. We're gonna be on the basis one day.
I'm gonna fill out that Google Doc.
I got Google Doc.
Yeah.
Best route. Look.
You gotta accept us all three though.
Yeah, you
That's
got
it.
to come all through. It
We'll
has
bring
to.
our own soundboard.
Yeah, look, yeah, we gotta go all three. But yes, I think that is key. And I was really thinking, I was like, when's the last time that I really like talked to somebody? Because again, like my mom was one of the people I wanted to. I feel like I wanted to talk with her.
Yeah.
But I knew even at a young age when something crazy, might have happened or something I really want to tell her. I already knew, but that's not the person you want to do. She's gonna lose it, and then it's gonna be a big ordeal. Or you feel like you feel like you can't trust that person with
Yeah.
like the open honesty, or being vulnerable. Like you said, and I was telling, but me and Bakari talked almost 2 hours on the phone. Literally, I almost fell asleep on the phone. We were talking for so long.
Y'all acting like y'all a couple, man.
Hey, man.
Y'all singing boys to men to each other.
Hey, but we should next time.
Close your
My bad. It's all right, Shaka.
eyes.
He's mad. We didn't
What
tag
is-
him. We should
what is-
phone him
We'll
in.
start having a conference call then.
And
Yeah, all right.
blew
Everybody
out
vent they
the
fit. Everybody
kind.
vent they feelings.
You going to
out.
sleep on the phone, man?
I about did. He's talking. I was like, but it was really information about some stuff I was really going through and
Yeah.
trying to be open and honest. And I was even talking about like, the worst thing is somebody can tell you do it. And that's not the worst.
Yeah.
The halfway truth somebody can tell you is, hey man, just pray about it, or I'll be praying for you.
Jesus.
Hey man, listen. Oh,
I need actual steps.
I need steps. I need
Yeah.
to talk about this. I need to vent.
I
Like
need
there was
money. Pray
there was
about
one. When I say I was so frustrated and angry with God during this week, like for you're angry, and I did after the end of me being like actually highly pissed, and I was like, Lord,
Yeah.
thank you for.
He said it.
I did say, listen.
Ooh,
I said,
that's
I
a
said,
cuss word.
I said, look, I felt like I was gonna say a lot more than that. I said, but thank you for being the God that can actually to allow me to vent my frustrations. And I mean, if you want to be honest with you too, I
Be
mean,
real,
nobody ever
son.
read the book of Lamentations.
They were lamenting.
Look, what does lamenting mean?
Sad asylum.
All right, it's a
Lugubrious.
whole book of people their frustrations about God. God's big enough. People like, I hear you. Thank you for hearing. Don't change your opinion. Your kids could be mad. Think about it. Your kids could be mad at you, but if you know you're doing right and standing right by them, I understand. It breaks my heart that you feel this way, but I'm still standing firm in my decision of what was best for you.
Yes, Lord.
And that's what God was dealing with me. But then until I talked to Bakari, like then I was able to release some other stuff that I feel like. Well, that's what the verse. I think it was John. Confess your sins to one another that you may be healed.
Yes.
Right. Confess, meaning when you put into words. When we talk, men, you have to open your mouth. Ladies, if it's not your wife, ladies, I know you are so used to dibbing out, or I'll say ladies. I don't want to say every single woman. I said women, just be careful how you talk to your man and how sometimes you respond. There's so much stuff. I promise you that he wants to tell you. He wants to get off his chest. Maybe he's scared. He's insecure about something. But if he knows that the mention of this particular subject or topic will cause a complete meltdown, he will hold it on and die. He will literally risk death, heart disease, stress, hypertension, heart failure, because he can't verbalize to you or the people, or maybe somebody people around you about maybe what he's going through, what he's thinking. Everybody loves, and it was said too, we talk about everybody loves quote a man who's vulnerable, who wants to share with them until he's vulnerable. Then he's weak. Then he's, I don't know if I want that. I'm not sure. And that's
Doing too much.
That's that's the conflict that we fight each other in. And maybe it comes in a circle. We have this, and maybe a form of a form of therapy. Maybe kind of talking about what our weeks are like. What do we really think with our kids? Those are the things I think about maybe and with this group that we have.
Yes.
Corey, look like you want to say something for a second, or maybe Shaka.
No, I
thinking.
was pondering on it.
He was thinking. I like to think about it. I will tell you. So that verse that you had mentioned, confess your sins to one another, and you will be healed. The first time I heard that, I think we were all at Resurrection years ago, and I forget who the speaker was, but we had all got back to the hotel room. Bakari, I believe you were there as well. And Miss Sylvia went over the verses that they had talked about during the conference. And
I remember none of this. I was at the same conference. I ain't remember none of this.
I know you don't be doing
Good
it.
job,
But you know, growing up, man, just certain things stick, a lot of things don't.
Right.
That verse just so happened to stick with me. And I will tell you, from that high school version of Shaka to the 31, I'm 31, to the 31-year-old that I am now, I still have a problem with that verse. If I'm being humble, open, and transparent,
Come on.
I have a problem with confessing your sins to one another.
But have you ever tried it?
Oh, I have. Well, I have. Yeah, I have.
Did it help you?
Yeah, you're healed, but it's just one of those
It's trusting
hard
people.
That's what it is. It's trusting people.
Right. Do I find the right people to trust with, like, and I get it, like there's nothing more scary than telling somebody your possible deepest, darkest secret, and they reject you, or they don't respond in the way.
But what does that come?
It's flesh. Your flesh don't want to do anything that's gonna. Your flesh only wants to help out flesh.
Right.
Also,
So
it's like
it goes
something
against.
something was planted. Because one thing I realized is that the enemy will plant a seed in you at a young age that will sit there and make you think like that. Because not everybody feels this way. So the thing
That's
is,
true.
and that's why, like, and I guess going through trying to be get my master's in psychology. That's one of the reasons why I try to study this, not just for other people, but also take this journey for myself, because it's just like I feel the same exact way sometimes. So what was planted inside me at a young age that is stopping me from really feeling comfortable with opening up to people or wanting to divvy out information to other people because I'm scared of rejection. So that's one of the things, like, I feel like, not telling everybody, hey, we should go deep into this conversation.
Yeah.
But maybe we should take a look at, and I told Brittany, I said, I would love, honestly, next year to be able to see a therapist or sit down with a counselor next year. That's like a goal for me, to sit down with a counselor or a therapist and be able to just explain, get everything out. Because the thing is, if you want anything to remain a secret, go see a therapist. That's what Tim Ross was saying.
Yep.
He said
if you don't have nobody, if you have nobody else to unpack, and that was good.
$75 or $100.
It's like $75 or $100. Maybe if you only have $100. Listen, we spend money on crazier stuff.
Go see
How about
a
we
counselor or therapist.
$75
they
to
can't say
$150.
nothing.
Sacrifice that pair of Jordans, man.
George's probably look. What you getting for
That's
$150?
That's 2 sessions. That's
Right,
$250.
Yeah, the Jordans ain't no $150 no more.
So I mean, like truthfully though, because that's one thing. After I watched that episode, I was thinking to myself, like, yo, like, I really need to sit down, because I can honestly say, like, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Like, and not saying like as until like I'm on the verge of jumping off a cliff or wanting to end my life.
You're not.
But I'm
Kanye
saying
right
I'm
now.
not who God has created me to be, and it's because some weeds was planted in the field of the wheat, and I'm over here getting distracted by the weeds around me. Then I'm kind of forgetting who I am as a person. So therefore, I need to go see a therapist or a counselor to solve or help me deal with the issue that I experienced either as a young kid or throughout my teenage years.
Yeah.
Up until the present time.
That's true. I feel that. I think with me, mine probably roots deep down in the fear of disappointing people. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like growing up, especially with a single mother, she always preached to us, every time you leave this house, you are a representation of me, your brother, and his family. Don't do anything that's going to ruin that. And I'm like, yes, man. So everything I've done growing up as a youth, I was like, I got to make my family proud. So I lived my whole entire life in trying to make my family proud. And I think the fear of disappointing my mom, I'm like, I don't want to disappoint my mama. So I never wanted to do anything, and not even just disappointing my mom. That flowed into just disappointing people in general.
I felt that.
You know what I'm saying?
I felt that. I
Yeah.
felt the same thing of somehow.
You feel that? You see that? Zoom in on that tear though.
Well,
Vulnerability.
I think else is his
Take it
allergy.
back.
too.
Yeah, man.
First
You
of all, I
left
ain't
your eyes
sneezing 2
open
weeks,
too
man.
long. Now we ain't got to
Nah, man, I'm tearing up. I ain't gonna wipe them either. Keep going.
He been investigating. He been crying all this whole podcast since we been started. But I felt that not wanting to disappoint others around you and feeling like you have to have it all together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I realized that maybe at a young age with like sports, you know,
That's another big one.
that and I didn't realize until after I got out of sports that I had set up an idol. And when you're performing, when people like I said, people love you and they appreciate you, what you do, you feels like you get more conversation out of people necessarily.
Yeah.
But when you disappoint or you don't play or do have certain expectations, it's not the same. You know, and the first time I felt like I got quote validation, maybe was when, you know, I first, you know, scored a touchdown. I saw my mom, how excited my mom and stuff was. Now, mind you, she loved me and she cared for me.
Yeah.
But again, we didn't there wasn't like a bunch of talking. Like, hey, how you feeling today? There was no talking in their house. Pretty much.
Nah.
I mean, there was literally 6 kids in this house, so it's a lot of it's on survival mode.
Oh yeah.
Let's be real. A lot of it's survival
Oh,
mode.
yeah.
But I was thinking about that. What does that roll over and translate and stuff into my current life, like you said. But
Oh, it's crazy.
and it was great. Said being vulnerable, and I think when you talk about that verse, Shaka,
Yeah.
confess your sins and sin not. You saw the same thing. It says it comes down to shame, like
Yes.
with your sin. Every sin that you have up brings a level of shame that you feel like I am unworthy. I can never bring this out to day of light. So you'll bury it, and eventually it compounds and compounds. And you keep trying to bury more and more to eventually either it gets exposed and you're left feeling like naked and vulnerable, and but partially almost free because you're like, oh, I don't have to hide it anymore.
I lied.
But
I feel like God gives you the opportunity to set yourself free.
He does.
If
Every
you
day.
still want to dabble in that,
Yeah.
then he gonna set you free, and you're not gonna like how he set you free.
Oh yeah, yeah, true that too.
You're not gonna like it, but
That's
it's
a-
gonna be growth though. The thing is, he still loves you after that though. He
Right,
just
so
said-
if-
he just says he loves you enough to set you free.
Yes.
So if you want to think about it, if you would take it all the way back to the garden, when Adam and Eve first sinned, right? What is the first thing they did? They felt shame. They literally said they felt shame, an emotion that they have never felt before. Something they're like, what the heck is that? So they ran, trying to cover themselves up, and God comes through asking, where are you? Now, I don't think God just genuinely just didn't know where Adam was. He was asking him to show him what was going on. Then he asked him, did you eat of the tree that I told you not to? Again, like Bakari said, giving Adam an opportunity to say, yes, Lord, I did.
Yep.
But again, there was no God book or anything like that. Our natural instinct as human beings was to deflect. It's because of that person. That woman you gave me, right? That's what he said. That's what he said, right? That woman you gave me, and then Eve deflected. Nah, it was the serpent's fault. And God addressed every single level.
Spider-Man.
But the thing is, they would have did that
That's what
backwards.
he said. That's exactly what it is.
Thing is, so like this, if they did that backwards, so if the serpent talking to Eve, and if Eve would have sat there and been responsible enough to talk to Adam, and then Adam to God, then like I said, it'd have been all.
Or
It'd have been all
Adam was there
good.
too. Adam could, as a man, also when I say
Who did the serpent talk to though?
he talked to Eve. However, he talked to Eve on purpose because that's out of order the way God told him. Because if you read in Scripture, not to get too crazy or deep, remember God told Adam. He told Adam Eve was not in the picture yet. She had not come about. Right? He said, "You shall not eat of this lest you die." Lord, I thank you, Holy Spirit. I didn't realize I knew that verse like that. But
That's King James.
that's right there. Look, I didn't even know I knew that.
King
Look,
James.
That left. I was like, oh, he in the deep.
Look, I didn't know I knew that.
Go
But
ahead.
thank you, Lord.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I got
Go
distracted.
ahead.
We got excited for a second. But he told Adam. But then we remember Eve came along. Fast forward a little bit. So when the serpent's talking to Eve, he says, remember Satan says, "You will not surely die." So then, or she says, "Won't you eat of this tree?" She said, "For God already said that we can't eat of this tree."
So she
that
knew.
means it was Adam communicated to her at some point, right? So as I say all that in this situation, reason it's important for men, Adam should have been like, hey, before any conversation, because again, they're in Eden, so everybody's like, why are you talking to a talking snake in the first place? They have no context for it. Could have been normal. I mean, how many other animals could have been walking and talking to?
We don't know what a serpent look like though.
Right. So, but my question is, the question was the statement should have been like, hey, I already told you. This is what God already said. I hear you.
That's
There's
what
no point.
That's what Adam should.
That's what Adam could have been saying. Hey, listen.
No,
I hear you.
I'm gonna rebuttal that though whenever you get finished.
All right, I want you to rebuttal it just in case. But again, Adam necessarily didn't speak up. Maybe curiosity, because Adam might have looked at the tree too. He has temptation. He could have been like, look, I want to low key see she gonna die though. Let's be real. Let's go.
That's your rib.
Come on, let's be real.
That's your rib, man.
Why did he say nothing? Let's be real.
Wow.
Why?
I might as well throw your rib on the grill.
No other helpmate out there. You just gonna sacrifice your helpmate like that?
I mean, he pulled it from a rib. He can't pull another one.
See if she gonna die.
He pulled her for a rib. He can't pull another one. I'm just saying.
Man.
He could have been like, I think about
One.
it. Think about it. If you sitting,
Right.
think about it. How many?
He said, all right, fine then. Since you don't want to see your rib, I'm going to take your testicles.
Wow.
How about that, then?
I mean, thank God he did. But how many times we ever done to say something? Look, I know you're wrong, but I low key want to see what's gonna happen. How many times you see your kid comment on something? Let's say they comment
Not
on
nothing that's going to let them die.
not die, but I look. I want to see how
Death.
Drink that bleach real quick. Let me see what happens.
I want to see what's going to happen. I saw my son come on a chair one time. I said, son, stop coming on that chair. So he said, no, I got it. Look, I was watching. Look, pop on two legs for a second. I said, I want to see what this is gonna do. Look, he gonna be fine. That chair buckle. Looks at his face when it turned around. I said, all I did was look. So look, he got off of it. I said, okay.
Oh, you right, Daddy.
So this is the route I'm gonna go with it.
Go ahead.
And this is how I run my household. So we confirmed that Adam did speak to his wife, correct?
Yes.
Or his helper,
His wife. His wife.
It wasn't wife then. I'm gonna say his helper. God created a helper for Adam. So this is the reason why I say this was up to Eve.
As well, yes.
Because the thing is, so I'm gonna give you the example for your son. You give your son instructions in this house to follow, or you give your son a set of rules to follow to keep him safe outside in the world. So therefore, son, we don't smoke in this house.
We don't smoke, period. But
We don't smoke, period. How many times do you think he's gonna be offered to smoke as he goes out in that world? Countless
More
times.
than enough.
You're not gonna be there every single time to sit there and say, "Hey, we're not smoking in this house. You're not gonna be there every single time."
Right.
So this is why I say it was up to Eve, because Eve knew the instructions. It was up to Eve to sit there and remember the instructions that her helper gave her. So that way she remembered. So it was more of Eve's curiosity which killed the nakedness than it was Adam being neglectful and saying, "Hey, I already told you." Because the thing is, you can give the rules, but it's up to that person whether they actually want to follow the rules.
True that.
So therefore, I'm like I said, the blame was on everybody at the end of the day.
True that.
Because once again, the serpent knew what he was doing. Because the serpent started it. Eve should have went there and told her husband, or told her helper, which then turned God. So it's Eve's fault for not going back in the chain of order that it was created. It was Adam's fault for taking a bite of the apple when you knew first and foremost what your father said.
Maybe, and I like to think slightly Adam, when he saw her actually bite it, like he's waiting for her to fall dead. He's like, no, she's still alive, but God meant spiritual death. And for the people who are listening too that might not agree or might have different opinions or not even might be full-time believers, again, we still love you. We still want to rock with you guys.
Still here for you.
Yeah, we still here. It's a podcast for everybody. But I think when I say that is, some people ask, why God put it in the tree? Notice, I read it this morning. I thought it was yesterday, this morning. But notice God never got rid of the tree. Somebody's like, why would God put the tree in the garden in the first place?
He just kicked him out the
but we
Eden.
have, how else would you since God gave us free will, how else would we choose him? Now, I say this, I know it's going to sound wild. I said, thank God for Adam and Eve. And thank God for Adam and Eve, and thank God for his grace and his mercy that he sent his son Jesus for us. Because there would really be, if they didn't sin, we'd still be in paradise. But the fact that God says, all right, I know I have a plan. I have something else I haven't worked out. Again, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Yeah. But that's the point. And we talked about how do we encapsulate all this being vulnerable, whatever. Adam and Eve were both naked in the garden. They knew no shame. So, again, together with God, the point of him, we should have no shame between us. There should be almost no secrets, no vulnerability. Think about it. God in his infinite wisdom, he could have literally put clothes on us. He could have done it any type of way, but reason he says, I don't even want clothes in between. I want your whole entire soul, your whole entire being. Even Adam and Eve, when they were naked with one another,
Open.
right? They were open
I'm
and
just
honest
wondering,
with with each other.
Was it always hot in Eden?
I don't know.
Because I mean, if it got cold, don't want to be naked in the cold though.
I mean, yeah, I think he said he put him in the
just-
garden though.
I'm just curious though. how hot was it in Eden for him to be naked
I'm
all
sure.
season long?
If I had to guess that it was God's most personal garden, I think the temperature might have been all right.
Man.
So when
I
did the
think
four seasons come about?
Nah, man, it was a good 78.
I need to know.
78.
Ooh,
Yeah.
78, all right?
I need some figs out here, or something.
Nah, man.
I need you.
Perfectly fine.
I need
man.
you to knock down the
78.
bed or something.
78
man.
out here.
It was
That's a good question.
Africa,
Look,
motherland.
look, you're right. The question was, what happened when it got cold out here? Was it going to be cold?
gonna
I
be
mean,
cold.
technically, we're supposed to really have it on Paradise, so this wasn't part of the plan. But it's no here or there. He said, "You better work for the sweat of your brow out here." I think the sweat of your brow. Listen, think about that
I'm
too.
outside,
I was
eh?
actually asking that question too. Think about the punishment that God gave us, like for doing that, for disrespect. He says, "Eve, for your childbirth shall be you have crazy pain in childbirth."
Yeah, all the women.
She didn't know what that meant at the time.
Right? They even had the concept of children then.
Let me tell you.
They even had and then he also said, "You shall desire your husband, but he shall rule over you." That's what that's word said.
Hey, listen. Ain't
And I was thinking about
ain't
that.
no woman hearing that.
Huh?
Never mind. Keep
Oh look,
We
that's
just
why
lost
we
10
determined.
viewers.
Hey man, that's what. Take it up with JC. I didn't say it.
Lost 10 viewers
Take it
out
up with him.
Hey.
But that's what he said. But he says, Adam, he says, you shall work by the sweat of your brow. I said, good gracious. A lot of it makes sense
You
now.
will till the ground.
Right. And with them thistles and thorns. And I said, golly.
I'm not built for that. I think the first thing I always tell people after watching my wife kind of struggle through being pregnant.
Bro, when you
I
see the
said
birth,
when I get to heaven, I'm throwing hands with Eve on sight.
All right, you get tossed right back out. It's long. Look,
throwing hands with
forever
Eve.
is the money.
Throwing hands with it because man, she the one that bought all this pain for childbirth, and
I'm
I
pretty
gotta
sure-
watch my wife.
I'm
suffer.
pretty sure you and half of humanity want
Shot,
to swing
yo.
on Eve, but y'all would have. But Wade would
Shot,
have
they
done.
got epidural now. They
Nah,
don't even
man.
suffering out here
No.
during
True that too.
childbirth. They got
That
epidurals.
stuff hurts.
Now, some women actually go through natural birth. Look, shout out to both women who do epidural and
You gotta
birth.
get your doula
natural-
out here.
They
Yeah,
can, but I'm telling you right
it's
now,
not the
a
way
lot
it
of
was set
women
up in
take
my household.
Well,
If it was easy in my household, then you know what? Me and Eve might be able to shake hands.
Did your wife get epidural?
Give her a little slap in the back of the head or something.
You gonna
I'm
slap
pretty.
Eve in the back
I'm
of the
pretty
head?
sure you.
She
And
might
you
catch-
gonna fire. You gonna fire. Just, swoop.
Get fired on right. That's all you gonna say. Hey, get fired right now. Shaka down.
There's a whole floor open up like that.
Swinging on my way out.
Look at what. Look.
Swinging on my way out.
And then look, everybody tiptoe. Look, I be low key trying to walk around heaven. Look, I got. Do you do
clouds.
that? Do you do that, or is it like, do I step on a button? Did that?
Nah,
or the
man.
shock just
How
got
does that
fell
work?
through?
I ain't no going to open up like that.
And look, in the words of Abraham, Shaka, there's a great chasm between us. I can't get to you if I wanted to, dog.
Help me, all right?
Oh, you himself. You said
Nah,
you
man.
did Eve make you feel better? That's a long time.
She got at least let me get one off.
Nah, son.
She's gonna have to take this.
Watch. I hope Eve's like 6'5".
Why are you angry in heaven anyway?
Yeah, he said without you ain't worried about no tears.
Your heart ain't in the right place.
Don't worry, he ain't. It sound like he ain't going.
That's my flesh.
You gotta
That's my
make
flesh
it to
talking.
Eve first.
That's my flesh.
I feel like there's levels to this. I feel.
Oh, I'm living a good life, and as soon as I get to heaven, you know what, Eve, you just fine. Come and give me a hug.
Mother.
You little tight.
Mother.
Oh, my goodness.
What's the time? What's
That's
the time?
it. I'm pretty sure that's it.
yeah,
We
got
got
an
Nah,
hour.
we good on time,
Got an hour
guys.
and 4
Let's
minutes,
keep,
man.
Let's keep going.
Got an hour and 4
The first
minutes.
10 minutes was
We got an
boom.
hour and 4 minutes,
first-
dog.
The first 10
My
minutes was
wife.
dude.
What'd you say, Bagar? You what?
My pregnant wife.
What you doing besides
Sleep.
sleeping?
She's
sleeping.
not asleep. She's up.
She texting you right now?
She's expecting
Hey,
me back home.
Hey, Bacar, just say if you want to go home, we will go home, man.
Call
I
her
wanna go
right-
home.
Call her right now.
I want to go home.
You sound like Jay.
I am not here out of free will.
Karate Kid.
But
Please help.
All right, we'll wrap this up again. Thank y'all for tuning another episode again.
Another
Sharing-
episode of
letting
the
us
Pops
share
and
our
Socks.
vulnerabilities and other
Yes.
men. Please, if you need somebody to talk, to reach out. I'm pretty sure you have coworkers, brothers, friends.
Let's talk about
Again,
it.
us,
Let's
like I
talk about
said,
it.
we want
talk
we
to
want to
us.
see your mental health right. We want to see you thriving as husbands,
Husbands.
as in your careers, professionals,
Fathers.
sons.
Talk to
We
All
want
of the-
look
all of the
generation
above.
of health
Talk to us, man.
coming through.
Yes.
Look, coming through, y'all. But it
Yes.
takes starting with the fathers, and for the mothers who does not have a husband there, or a husband is deceased. Look here, it starts with you.
Right.
It starts with you.
There's community that for you and your children. Again, we don't do all what we do. Again, we can't help everybody, but every time you see us out, we do take it a personal responsibility. Shaka works with the teens. Now I know he don't say he's a father to these kids, but they look to him as a positive leader and a
That's
role
right.
model.
Can't
for
have
that.
community without unity.
Ooh, that's a bar right there. We're gonna end on
We
that
gonna
one.
leave on
act
it.
like- act
Hey,
like we
but
ain't
one
heard
thing
that
for
before,
2023, they shut. Don't
Nah,
ruin
man.
that for me.
That's not
Don't
original.
ruin that
That's
for
not
me.
original. I've been giving it to
Don't
you, though.
like,
gonna
I remember
let
I
it-
wrote that back in 2009.
He's not gonna wait to run this down.
But nah, I say, look, for us though, like I think what we should do for 2023, and we'll end off on this, we should at least go see a counselor or a therapist this year, or this year.
Sometime this year.
This year, I
Look,
think
I'm
I think
nervous.
that should be because they can't tell nothing.
Well, true that too.
So I'm gonna drop bombs on them. But at the same time, like I said,
they're
it's
gonna
just
check you in a cycle.
Would you rather see somebody that you know or a stranger?
no stranger.
Stranger probably.
Stranger, I need some, I might go out of state.
Yeah. Low key, I'm like go.
Listen, you know BetterHelp. You can do therapy online. They
Nah,
make
I'm
it
good.
therapy
I
mad
need
easy for you.
online, man. That ain't worth
Oh,
it, man.
purpose.
I need
Nah, you
face
can-
to face.
No, but I'm saying like face to face
You over here?
through
I'm afraid
computer.
they text
No,
you while
no, I
they,
need
they'll
set
hear
up
text you while I'm
meetings.
talking.
Ain't nobody do online stuff, man.
They therapy is literally online.
Hey, Shaka,
This man ain't gonna be healed.
You better get
This
with
man don't want to
it.
be great.
What you mean?
Bro, you gotta spend. It's okay to spend the money shot to be
Why?
great.
Bro, BetterHelp is
Yeah, I know we
literally
brothers.
online therapy.
It could go either way.
And it's literally FaceTime on a computer.
Okay, so my fault. Look, let me rephrase that. That might work for you, but that ain't
I don't know
gonna
what
work
works
for
for
me.
me.
That
I
ain't gonna
ain't
work for me. I like the face to face value.
Shaka
though.
said, I don't know what works for me. Real talk. He's not never been in
I
therapy.
like face to face value. I like to be able to dump
We'll have
my
to definitely
emotions.
go and to see how this opens up. Again, we
Yeah.
want the goal is 2023, and hopefully the same thing you are. We want to help you guys be better parents,
We're gonna be great.
better sons, daughters, all the above.
Like
But
we
most
just
of-
said this.
yeah, we did. I said all the above, but you cut me off over
I
here.
don't.
You cut me off. But anyway, look, Shaka.
Hey, man. This is episode 27 of Pops and Socks. I'm still bald headed. He faded. He dreadlocks.
Again, we love you guys. Peace.
Give me my theme music.
You know you missed it, right?
That was it.